This is Byron Gordon for the SES Conference Channel. We are at SES London 2010, Day 1 on the exhibitor floor. We have run into Richard of Adfero. How are you, Richard?
I'm very well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm very good, thank you. You're good. Smartly dressed, so we thought we'd come over and ask you a little bit about Adfero, a little bit of what's it about.
Well, we're an international news agency, pretty much like CNN and Reuters, but we write unique and tailored news content based on the editorial briefs set by our clients. So they decide what type of news they would like to have written, how they would like that written, and then we would then publish that content directly onto their website to assist them with their ongoing marketing strategy.
So you're all about content.
All about content. You know, if you're looking for a content solution, that's going to be looking at SEO, that's going to be looking at email marketing in terms of distribution of content. That's something that we focus on.
So anything new you're rolling out this year that maybe you didn't do last year?
Yeah, well, you know, as we all know, over the last 10 years, content has been something that's evolved quite massively, and so what we've looked to do this year is to provide a way for companies to monitor the return on investment from content. So what we have now is we have a sort of dashboard where clients can log into on a daily basis and actually see how the news is performing, how the content is performing on the site, page views in terms of the ROI, how many people have clicked through to call to actions, etc., etc. So this is something that's very specific to each and individual client, and as such, you know, really develop this off the back of you know, a need to be able to monitor the ROI of content, which we're really excited about. Sort of 2010.
Excellent. Are there areas of news that generate more content than others?
Well, I mean, it's really a good question, really good question. I mean, what's interesting about Adfero is that we cover literally any type of news area that the client wants. We write news, obviously, on finance is huge, travel, recruitment, but we focus on a lot of sort of niche areas as well.
What would some of those be?
Things like endowment policies, you know, things like spiral staircases, things like fly fishing, you know, and literally anything that the client is looking for. Because with content, what you're looking at is obviously appealing to a target audience, and so what we want to do is to make sure that you've got content that's relevant for the target audience, making sure that you're giving them a sort of reason to come back daily, that it's written in the tone of voice, the style, you know, taking on the angles that are relevant to the you know, to the target audience of the client. So that's something that we pride ourselves on here at Adfero, and you know, depending on what type of areas that you're looking for, we would set up an editorial infrastructure to cater for that.
So, and generally, how fast is the turnaround for news content and release?
Right, okay, well, Adfero, we have quite a sophisticated infrastructure where we will conduct interviews on a daily basis with industry figures. We can literally, so you could make a request and say, look, we're looking for some news on the new sort of Satio sort of mobile phone, and literally within a day we can have set up the relevant sourcing, we would have done the relevant interviews with the manufacturers, and then been able to write relevant content and have that up your site within 24 hours. So it's pretty quick in that sense, and what's good about it is that it sort of reacts to the commercial sort of imperatives of the client, which is, after all, what they're most interested in. Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks so much for chatting with us about Adfero, Richard.
Yeah, nice to speak to you too. Take care, yeah?
Okay.
Good.
And there's more to come here at SES London as we keep on interviewing additional exhibitors, so stay tuned for more.